Well, I was probably 11 or 12 years. I can't really recall. But there was this girl.
Hold on, is this about to be a love story?
No, it's not a love story. You wait. Just wait for it.
Okay.
So say I leave this place, right? There was like a neighbor, and we all used to worship at the same place with the Church of Pentecost. But there was this girl who was in that house, just next house or next door, my neighbor, and we used to be in the same class. And she would always come on top of the class, and I would always be, somewhere, either winning at the back, like something like that. And it got to a point where the guys, like when we need to play football, my elder brother and all that, they would be teasing me that, like, you shan't, let me just, say it as it is, like, either in broken English or pidgin or, Akan or local dialect, they will say, wasa. It means, why are you allowing a lady or a girl to, beat you in class, do something. So it got to a point and I'm like, no, I have to do something about this. So I'm like, okay, this thing that they have been saying about this Jesus, is it true? And if it's true, I want to put him to the test this time. So I started being serious. This time around, I would go to church very early.
At the age of 12?
Yeah. I will go to church very, 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 very early. Whatever they will say, I will do it. If you pinch me, I will not mind you. If you insult me, I will not
But
mind you.
before, how was it?
Oh man, forget. I was just doing my own thing. And, like I started obeying, not like living a perfect life, but obeying what the Word of God says. On whatever I was being taught, I was kind of like applying it as of the time. So that particular semester or that term, that's what we used to call it in Ghana, West Africa. That particular term, I just couldn't wait to open the envelope, wherever, to see my position in class.
Before.
Exactly. So I came second in class.
Wow.
Remember, I told you I was winning somewhere at the time. Yes. And the girl was number 8 this time.
Wow.
So I went back to the hood or to the street or to my neighbor or to the project, and now they carried me on their shoulders like, yeah, So I thought, man, this thing works. So then I realized this whole church thing, if you are serious, God will be serious with you. If you are not serious, He will not be serious with you. And I cannot boast that from that time I've lived, in that. We still went and did our own things, and by His grace, we are still back to it. So, kind of like that's just, just scratching the surface of, something for my background. So.
Okay, so as I spoke about Matthew 16:15 when Jesus Christ was asking about who He was, and so I would want to ask you, who do you, as Charles, who do you say Jesus is in a nutshell?
Okay, I think something came on my mind and it's kept me along the way. I just want to bring it up again before I proceed to give a comment on that. So when you read the scriptures, remember it said that unto the one that you see that the Spirit of God is sent on him and remaining, that's a key word there, and remaining. So, if you're a reader of Kenneth Hagin books, he's done some really great job on this whole explanation of the Spirit within and the Spirit upon. Most Christians have the Spirit of God within them. When you accept Christ, 1 John 1:21, 1 John 1:27, the Holy One comes to live in you. The Anointed One lives in you. Every one of us. Nobody is way here and you are way there. But we have the Spirit of God coming upon you for service. That actually means that Jesus was what? Anointed. As the Spirit came and remained, it means what? He was what? Anointed. And the anointing is for service. And when you read Isaiah 11, the Bible makes us understand that, and the Spirit of the Lord, speaking of Jesus, will be upon him. It will rest upon him. So that was actually fulfilling what the scriptures. And it proceeds to talk about the seven spirits of God. But let's quickly, I'll answer your question, but I just want to just, 1 Samuel 16 deals with the anointing of David. I'll just read from the 13. It says that, reading from the New King James Version, then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brothers. And the Spirit of the Lord came upon David from that day forward. So Samuel arose and went to Ramah. Now it is very shocking, I repeat, very shocking, not the next chapter, the very next verse. It says that a distressing spirit troubles Saul. So this is what was happening in the Old Testament. Once it leaves you, that's it. It goes into, like it's been transferred from you. So it's like the Spirit of God will come upon you, and when you misbehave or whatever, like we all know the story of Saul, it will what? Leave you. But in the New Testament, it's different. Grace. The Bible says that I will never forsake you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Matter of fact, in the Greek, it's double never. So I will never. So that's the difference. So our case and their case is like worlds apart. If you're a Christian and for whatever reason you fall into whatever temptation, it's not as if the Spirit of God just leaves you like some people think, like He comes in you and He goes, no, it doesn't work that way. He imparts His righteousness upon you the moment you accept Him. So whatever you are doing contrary to His word, you are grieving the Spirit. It doesn't mean that He is out, like He did in the case of Saul. So now we have the Spirit of God in us and upon us. But it's up to us to stay in the Word so that we can operate, with this whole Spirit of God resting upon us. Now, coming back to your what you wanted us to talk about, who do you see personally? So
that Jesus
you see, this whole Christianity thing is based on revelation. How I see Jesus will be slightly different than the way you see Jesus. But we would have a common place, a common ground. We would have, like a commonality between, whatever that we see. I would say He's not just my Father. He's not just my Savior. He is my banker as well. He's my accountant as well. He's my lawyer as well. He's my teacher as well. In every area and sector of life, He is to me because He is the I am. You see, we have a problem in the church where we have imbued in people or instilled in people this kind of religious mindset. So when you pick at random 3 or 4 people, you ask them who is Jesus, trust me, the first 2 answers that you will hear is He is my Savior. And it is not wrong. It is correct that He is our Savior, but He's more than that. So if in your mind, if you live in those prisons like cells, that He is just your Savior, He will forever be your Savior. You can't go past. When you read the Bible, Genesis 1:1, the first description of Jesus was that He created the heavens and the earth. Not heaven, the heavens and the earth.
Hold on. Talking about Genesis chapter 1 is big. Because right now you did not even say
No,
God.
Your question though.
I know.
Yeah.
You did not say God created.
I intentionally said Jesus created.
But you said Jesus.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Tell me more about it.
So it's now me. God, tell me more so I can talk more. Okay. So the first impression we have of God in the scriptures is that He is a creator. He creates things. And He created all these things that we see out of nothing. So why then don't we say that Jesus is a genius? Because for you to create the sea, the mountains, the chimpanzee, trust me, it will take somebody who is crazy enough to create such animals. So I asked myself, what am I creating? If my Father is a creator, what am I creating right now in my life? If He created all that, trust me, we don't even know even 20% of the fishes or the types of fishes in the sea. We are not even using even 1/10 of our brain after we fell, after Adam fell. You see, so when you say or you limit God to just one thing, He will forever be in that box to you. But somebody in the banking sector right now needs a solution to a complicated whatever, and he's going on his knees, he's somewhere praying, Father, give me an idea how to solve this problem. And he'll go ahead and solve it. Because he believes that Jesus is probably, somebody too has a court case. And then you are the chief lawyer, you are my advocate, Spirit of God. Son, he's a comforter. He is everything. He is everything. You are dealing with a genius. We are creation. He is the creator. So, He's different things to me at different times. When I go to work, sometimes, trust me, I'm given a work, I have no clue on how to go about it. I will walk out and go stand somewhere and just begin to pray. Either praying by word of mouth in like literal English, or begin to pray in the Spirit. After about 25 minutes, I'll come back mysteriously, and then I will start to put words together, and I'll present it, boom, it will fly. So I'm like, how did I do this? So I don't have, probably it's a long response or answer to a short question, but yeah, He's everything to me. I cannot limit Him to just He being my Savior or He being this to me.
So what you're saying here is that Jesus today can be your brother, tomorrow can be your sister.
That's right.
The next day can be your chef.
Exactly, and nobody can cook better than He does.
I like
you
that.
Go ahead. I like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. That's who Jesus is to you. So meaning that there's a vast evidence of an experience of Jesus Christ in your life.
There are times that I need help, and out of nowhere help will come.
And you are certain that help came from Jesus.
Exactly. It couldn't have been by any, by any way, like any other way. You see, it's also good that we understand that the way you see Jesus matters a lot, because it will change your status. If you lack revelation, you aren't going anywhere in the kingdom. That is very important before we proceed. That is very important. Because after Jesus was revealed to Simon Bar-Jonah, that was his name before. But after he was revealed, he now said, now I will call you what? Peter. Jacob, he said, now you will be called what? Israel. Abraham was changed from Abraham to what? To Abraham. And that was because El Shaddai was revealed to him. So in the kingdom, things move by revelation.
So
without revelation, you are stagnant.
Your name, your status is changed
exactly
by how Jesus is exposed to you
by revelation. So he said, on this rock, it's not just a rock sitting somewhere. On this rock, I will build my church. On this rock means revelation. I will build my church based on what? Revelation, because by flesh, no man shall prevail. So you are going to plant a church somewhere. It's not in your own strength or in your own wisdom. Paul said that I come to you, I teach or preach not with human wisdom. Even with all my PhDs and all that, I consider it as done. So he's saying that by revelation, on this rock, I will build what? My church.